So what if I told you you could go from looking like this to looking like this? Or if you could go from looking like this to looking like this without having to give up carbs, would you believe me? Well, over the past 34 years, I've been helping my clients do exactly that. And in today's video, I'm gonna tell you how you can do the exact same thing. And I know that right now you probably don't believe me because you've been told for so long that in order for you to reach your weight loss goals, you've got to give up carbs, but you don't. And you've probably given up carbs in the past, and you might have even had some success losing weight while giving up carbs. But if you love carbs, we all know that you can only give them up for so long, and then we know what happens when you reintroduce or you start eating carbs again. You gain all the weight back that you lost plus some. So in today's video, my goal is to teach you how to eat carbs, lose weight, and finally keep it off for good. So my client Stacy considered herself a carbaholic. I mean, she would eat carbs for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and every snack in between. And this is kind of normal because studies show that over 67% of Americans eat some form of carbs with each meal. But the crazy thing was that I had Stacy track her calories over the course of a week, and out of the 7,000 people over my 34 years that I've trained and coached, she was the first person that had over 90% of her calories come from carbs. And I don't know if you heard me, but I said over 90% of her calories came from carbs. And she was convinced that this was the reason why she was having trouble losing weight, and she was confused when I told her that it wasn't. You see, you've probably heard of calories in and calories out before, but just in case you haven't, it simply means that you need to eat less than you burn. Now, calories in, calories out applies to any food. So that means that it applies to carbs, it applies to fat, it applies to protein. So if you eat more, it doesn't matter what you eat, but if you eat more than you burn, you're going to gain weight. And this is why I told Stacy that it wasn't necessarily the carbs that was the problem, but it was the fact that she was eating too many of them that was causing her to gain weight. Now, I will admit that the foods that are the easiest for most people to overeat are going to be the problem foods, and for most people, those foods happen to be carbs. So if carbs are the problem foods, how can you still continue to eat carbs, eat the ones you enjoy, and lose weight? So whenever a client like Stacy has a hard time controlling foods like carbs, or really any food for that matter, because again, you can gain weight overeating anything. So whenever they have a hard time controlling certain foods, the first thing I'll do is have them add in some low calorie, high fiber foods into their diet. Now, Stacy wasn't a big veggie or fruit eater, but she also wasn't against eating these foods. So what I had her do was I had her add in foods like broccoli, spinach, and asparagus, and I also had her add in some fruits like apples, oranges, and bananas. Now, foods like these are great at helping people lose weight, and they're actually my secret weapon at helping my clients lose weight, and here's why. You see, foods like these are high in fiber, and fiber helps to keep my clients full longer, which allows them to be able to eat more of these foods and still lose weight because it prevents them from overeating throughout the day. So if you were my client, the first thing I would have you do is add more fiber into your diet, and you're probably asking yourself, how much more? Now, everyone's different, but experts recommend anywhere from 25 to 30 grams of carbs. So that's where I have my clients start, and we see how they feel. Now, if you're new to eating more fiber, there is a chance, at least initially, that you will notice some changes in your digestion and your bowel movements. And this could be good or bad depending on how your bowel movements and your digestion is right now. Now, the question you're probably asking is, how is eating more fiber going to allow me to still be able to eat the foods that I really enjoy eating and lose weight? You see, while continuing to eat the carbs that you enjoy eating, you're probably not going to be able to eat the amount of them that you normally eat while adding the additional fiber into your diet. You see, you're used to eating these carbs in the amounts that you want to eat, as much as you want to eat, as often as you want to eat. And this is what's causing you to either have a hard time losing weight, or it's actually causing you to gain weight. So it's not the carbs themselves that we need to focus on, but it's the amount of them that we eat that we need to focus on. Now, normally without the additional fiber, you would have to rely on willpower and self-control, but with the additional fiber and its filling effects, if you strategically place the fiber and your favorite foods, you won't have to rely on willpower or self-control anymore. So what is the right order to place your fiber and your favorite carbs? And it's simple. It's fiber first, your favorite carbs second, but that's not all. Now, eating more fiber is great, but it's not guaranteed to do the trick unless you add these two steps in the middle. So here's the 4 things that you need to do to make this fiber weight loss hack a guaranteed success. So after you eat the fiber, the very next thing you need to do is you need to drink 8 to 16 ounces of water. Now, the reason why fiber is so filling is because fiber sort of acts like a sponge in your stomach. And we all know what happens when you add water to a dry sponge. It expands. And this is why it is an absolute must to have water with your fiber. So adding water with your fiber is the second thing you need to do after eating the fiber. But the third thing you need to do before eating your favorite carbs is you need to wait. So to really help the fiber soak up the maximum amount of water, you have to give it some time. So I recommend all my clients wait anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes after eating the fiber and drinking the water before they eat their favorite carbs. Now, I want you to give this a try. And after you've tried it for the first time, I want you to come back to this video and I want you to leave a comment letting me know how many fewer carbs you ate after giving it a try for the first time. And I'd be willing to bet that you decreased your carbs by anywhere of at least 25%. And this 25% decrease in carbs, or what I should say is the decrease in calories, is what's going to lead to your weight loss. And if you need some help figuring out your diet, you should work with one of our coaches. Click the first link below in the description, fill out the form, and either myself or one of our coaches will reach out to you and we'll figure out how you can continue to eat the foods that you love, eat the carbs that you love, while adding in fiber and get the best weight loss results.